He's a former recruiter with record-breaking track record, including a Rookie of the Year, Top Performer, and Brass Ring Award. She's a former recruiter for casting models and actors in Milan, Italy, Los Angeles, California. And she went to school at Suffolk University, and I'll give you the acronym because I don't know what the hell it stands for. ICFNE, yes?
International Coach Federation New England Chapter. I'm on the board of directors. That's the organization attempting to govern the coaching industry.
Okay, and she's married for 10 years and has a daughter and 2 cats and resides in Norfolk. I gave you Coach DQ.
Lightning's up 1-0.
What? So thank you for listening to that. What was you liked it? You liked it? Was it specific? Did it bring somebody to mind? Or something specific to mind? Not so much. Okay, great. How many of you, thank you. How many of you have ever worked on 100% commission? Okay. Well, absolutely. Actually, I would say that each and every one of you here in this room today, by virtue of having your own small business, works on 100% commission. Would you agree?
Yep.
Okay. Well, smart group, because not everybody knows that and gets caught with that. And what do I mean by 100% commission? Well, let me ask you this. If you don't, do you get to eat or pay your mortgage or your kids' tuition or contribute to your 401k if you don't make a sale that month? Or go without making a sale 2 months in a row? Or 3 months in a row? No, I thought not. So the thing is with the sales, actually I wanted to tell you, the first true job I got out of college, or true commission, 100% commission job, was in recruiting actually, and it took me I went 2 months without making a sale. The whole time I was eating ramen noodles. And I don't know about you, but I thought the last time I was going to be eating ramen noodles was going to be in college, not after college. Seriously. So I learned the hard way early about doing your foundation, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And I thought the interesting thing is, we're all on 100% commission. And that it's absolutely imperative that you make sales each and every month, right, in order to keep the pipeline going. But as you probably know and have experienced, there's the other side of the business, where you're now having to service the sales. And herein lies the vicious cycle, where you're working on the sales, you're not selling. When you're selling, you're not working on the sales, and there's the dilemma. You end up with a vicious roller coaster of revenue. High some months, low some others. You're feeling like a hamster on the treadmill, and running, getting nowhere. Not to mention the fact that on top of that, as a small business owner or solopreneur, you have to be your own marketer, your own salesperson, your own bookkeeper, your own administrative assistants.
I thought you weren't going to talk about the business.
Well, so I was just going to say, I mean, is it just me, or can anybody else in this room relate to that?
But you forgot something.
What?
The children, the house, the
Oh,
husband,
right. That's the
all of
whole
that.
purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that. We're
That's
just
the life
focusing
balance
on-
part of her.
That's the life balance part. Well, that brings in the other pieces there. But so that. So, anyways, what I was experiencing this. As you know, I've been in business 8 years, and one of the things that I recognized that I need to do something different. So I hired a coach. I hired a coach out of my comfort zone, in the sense of out of my financial comfort zone. And that was really scary. But what we did is we developed a system, and she helped me to develop the system and implement the system, and that literally changed my business model and the revenue that I was getting on a monthly basis. Without getting specific, we'll say you were a couple $1,000s here to more than a couple $1,000s in that much of time by just implementing these strategies. So I took the strategies, I massaged them myself, put my own spin on it, and started to test it. And this strategy is called the bridge. The bridge, and I'm going to go over that tonight. And while I'm doing that, I wanted to pass these around before, so I would have your immediate attention rather than looking through all my paperwork. So that's a tip if you're ever doing a speaking presentation. Wait to hand out your stuff. So if you want to take a look at that. So the bridge process is what we're going to talk about today. It's an acronym, and we're going to walk through the acronym. The bridge process is actually, this is a new version of it. I've been working with the bridge process now for about 4 years. I've been very successful in creating the bridge process for job seekers and reducing the amount of time that they're in a job search by half. I have been testing it for the last 2 years, and if you don't have one, let me know and make sure everyone has one. For the last 2 years with business owners, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm happy to announce I was fortunate enough, I hired one of our, did everyone get one? One of our I used to be in BNI, I was an ambassador for BNI, so I'd go around and I would coach groups on how to be better referral givers or how to give your pitch. So that's one of the exercises that we're going to do today. I was also going to say I was really happy because I hired somebody else from an old BNI, he's a PR person, and he was able to get me what they call a sweeper spot, which is a new term for me. Then what that means is certain times of the year, television want to do a special report to increase ratings. And long story short, I was picked for this sweeper spot, and every night it's been airing on the news as a special report in Western Mass, where I'm originally from. So every day I'm getting an email saying, I saw you on TV, but I can't see it, and they're just seeing the clip, they're not seeing the whole story. So that's the bridge. And the bridge stands for, if you pull out in your packet here, I'm going to have some notes. Go right to the bridge, the 6 steps of getting off the revenue roller coaster. Now, some of this is basic, and some of this is actually very similar to, I don't want to batch up your name. Say your name again?
Nitsan.
Nitsan. Okay. Nitsan. So you were onto something. I really was enthralled with what you were talking about, and that's what the bridge is about. One, becoming clear. If you're looking, we're looking just at this glass box here on your right-hand side. Becoming clear. Research. Most people who hire me are not 100% clear, so we teach them on going to the research, and that involves using social media and LinkedIn and other resources to help you to identify who is your target market or who is your ideal contact. And then the D is develop. As everybody knows me as a connector or networker, and I say to my clients, I can't promise, but one of the things that separates me from other coaches is that when you give me your target list, we will look at those contacts and see how I can make introductions to you. Both from a business owner standpoint and from a job seeker standpoint. Then we help work on a game plan to help position you, and you're execute and evaluating that. It's different for each person. So I'm going to go, so that's sort of the overview. So far, are there any questions? And if I go too fast, because I get really excited. No questions so far? Everything clear? Okay. All right. So as you go to the next page, we're going to do an exercise together. I'm going to be looking for your interaction and your participation. So as you can see here, a good referral for me is someone you know who's in a transition. It's much different from the last one that says a good referral for me is someone you know who is an executive, an advertising executive, who is either a creative director, a copywriter, graphic designer, and is considering starting their own business. So you can see the differences here. And I was taking notes while you were all going through your 60 seconds. And there is something to be said, and you said there's riches in the niches. The more specific you can be. And I struggled with this myself. And Bert can attest, because when I was, little green Dawn 8 years ago in BNI, and give me some feedback on how my 60-second is, and I was just obsessed with it. So I found over time that the more specific that you can be, the better. Let me give you another case in point. There was one woman who was in our group, and she worked for Yellow Book. If anybody knows Yellow Book, or from a recruiting standpoint, or if you ever play sales, they have a high turnover, it's a tough job, it's 100% commission, it's tough. Every recruiter in Boston area is working with them. Bottom line, my point is, when she gave her 60 seconds, she always came with specific companies or specific people that she wanted to be introduced with. Who do you know? And she would say the chiropractor's name or the dentist's name or the particular company. And let me tell you, she didn't always nail it, but when she did, she got the sale. So what I'd like you to do, and participate with me on this, is to look at this and say, and fill in the spot. A good referral for you is, and think about, the decision maker or the problem. And we're going to take a couple people and practice it. Okay? Think about, from an industry standpoint. One of the reasons why, as you're thinking about this, is because I just totally cringe when people say anybody. That's like if Dr. Goldman got up and said, well, I work with anybody who has a spine. And for you, and I don't mean to pick on you, but you were going in such a great direction, you had my whole attention. And then you said, anybody with a phone. I'm like, oh. Come on, more specific. So what are the problems that they're having? What types? 1 week you can come in and say, I worked with a landscaper and he wasn't specific enough, and one of the things that he does are retaining walls, or whatever the case is. So now people are thinking, they're remembering you. They're going to say retaining walls. This person, people are looking for that. All right, so take a couple minutes and just write this down for you, and we're gonna practice it, and then we're gonna do another exercise, and then depending on how much time, we're gonna wrap it up and bring it all together. And you don't have a lot of time. What time do we start?
Well, it's not a little late because, Bruce came in.
Oh, so what time did I start exactly?
About 15 minutes ago.
Okay. All right.
And then one of the kids is Michael Julian.
Okay.
1-to-1, by the way.
No.
Two arms.
Yeah. Just have a bad head, because they're going to change, right?
So is it clear so far?
Yes, clear as mud.
Crystal.
I didn't get your name. You look
Gary.
familiar, Gary. Nice to meet you.
Again, there it is. I'm sorry, my free packet didn't come with a pen in it.
Yeah, well, I did think
Does
of
anybody
that.
have a pen? I've usually got
Don't worry,
unprepared.
she won't call on you, don't worry.
Oh, thank God.
So I want you to be able to walk
share.
away with something. So give the effort to put in, for you, a specific decision, problem, situation, or life events. I have notes. If you get stuck, I'm here to help. Do you want a couple more minutes? How do we want to start? Maybe, yes, okay. Question?
No.
Share? Do you want to share?
Sure.
Okay.
I put a good referral for me is property manager of condominium building,
Okay.
because who's would be challenged with their fire system, because unbeknownst to a lot of people, you have to have 2 dedicated lines for the fire system, and it costs quite a bit of money to have those 2 dedicated lines every month. If they go with an alarm company like myself, they don't need to have that They just pay a small monitoring fee, so it saves the condo association a lot of money.
So, who do you know that would be a condo association or the builder?
Yeah, that's someone
Okay.
who lives in a condo, who, you know, is familiar with who's on the board of directors.
And another little
property
tip
manager.
I want to share with you is that facts tell and stories sell. So if you had a story about a situation of a condominium that had, you know, the backup system of what you're trying to describe, that would also go a long
Yeah,
way. Because
okay.
people remember those more so. So remember the facts tell and stories sell. You did a great job and got an applause for the evening. Did you have anything that you wanted to share?
A good referral for me at this time, okay, because of the changing time.
Yeah.
A good referral for me, especially what's happening with this year, is a small to medium-sized company who is going to change location. A lot of people right now, their leases are up. There's tremendous competition for space.
Okay.
So when they change locations, they need new signage. So the best, right now, over the last maybe 5 or 6 months, has been companies in transition.
Okay, and so a corporate real estate person would be also a good person for you to network with as well,
Right.
right? Well, that's the right word.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's actually, right now, it's skipping that. It's going right to the business owner,
Okay.
business renter. Okay, 'cause
So either-
I do a lot of signage for people who are renting space from them,
Okay.
because they're cutting it away, because they have it. It's square footage is so much cheaper.
Alright, so something else that you can use, like when you walk away, I want you to, you know, have, oh, here's a new idea. Who else has a comment or wants to work through theirs? Yes.
Someone in need of disposal, recycling, removal, one article or complete household or commercial property, 20 years of experience solving problems for residential and commercial customers.
Okay. Okay, so,
Anybody that wants to.
right, but you got more specific because when you were speaking, let's see my notes there.
Just look for late guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't take a note for some
Yeah,
reason.
because you want to know who's hauling your trash in Norfolk now.
Well,
Call me
yeah,
anyway,
but
right?
there was something else that you brought up that was specific, but it wasn't memorable. So, you know, something to think about that when you are more specific. I think that helps. Does anyone, do you want a little more feedback, or would you like to move on to something else?
Can I just
Yes.
ask a question? I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying with regard to Neton and what he was talking about. You had specified you could make an example of a landscaper. You're just saying, are you just speaking in general right now for our 60-second commercial, and yet he should modify that each and every time he comes to the different types of people that he can address?
Yes, I
Okay.
think it helps if you are somewhat consistent with the type of people, because I would come in and 1 week I'm over here, the next week I'm over there, and I'm, you know, interview coach and I'm helping people with, you know, career life balance. People didn't get what I did until I sat down, but the people who were specific and when I said, who do you know that works for Mullen Advertising or Arnold or Digitas? I got a lot more referrals, and they're thinking, you know, they're always thinking, oh, she does jobs. So they weren't really understanding because I wasn't good at communicating it precisely. And not to mention that you have to fit this all in 60 seconds and still try to get your message flow across really clearly.
Okay.
So does that answer your
Well, I guess
question?
my question being my industry in real estate, I deal individually with families who move for various reasons. Trade up, downsizing, which I didn't discuss, but I understand your point, and I appreciate that, but am I limited? I mean, what
No, I
limitations-
wouldn't say that you're limited, but there are some things that you're gonna go further when you're consistent and you hone in on a niche and you're specific. So in your case, you could talk about different events, empty nesters, and things, but you're going back and reinforcing those things that you said rather than keep going wider, 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 wider. You want to go this way, especially now that we're such a global organization. Is that my cue?
No?
No.
Oh.
Actually, she does staging. So I
Yeah,
think
no,
that would
no,
be
That
something
stood out to
Right,
me
no, I
when
know.
she did her
Break that up.
60-second
I think that would be
commercial.
just something that's stick.
Yeah.
Right, no, I would break
Right.
that up, but I was
But,
just thinking,
yeah.
speaking real estate in general.
Mm. But it does get diluted because you're saying I do this and I do this and I do this and I do
Right.
this. And anytime you have the anybody, everybody kind of thing, you like, I don't know, that doesn't happen for everybody, but for me, I just shut off. Oh, another anybody. You know, what makes you unique? What makes you different?
I think when you spoke about relocation.
Today.
Right.
But when you deal with that, if you deal with a particular company, let's say Company X, does anybody know the human resources person? Because that would be the person who
Right,
knows how to get person
exactly.
from one part of the country to here. That would be a great referral for you, because that's really what she's referring to.
Yeah, exactly. So thinking about titles, decision makers, problems, situations, life events, those things stick out more so than your facts.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Goldman, because I will
Goldstein,
take this
Goldstein, the name right.
opportunity for anybody that is looking to develop any kind of corporate program within for benefits, for relocation, a new small business, talk to me. That's totally different that I haven't yet talked about, but you gave me the segue, thank you.
Perfect. And when you're a part of different networking groups, try it out for a few months where you're just focusing in on one particular industry. Your message is going to go farther, it's going to be more memorable when you're consistent with that. So you're a member of B&I, you might say, okay, B&I, I'm going to do Veridian, and over here, I'm going to do graphic design, or whatever it is. I know Bert is a friend of mine, so now I want to use the same exercise and just do something really quickly, but different because of the time. I want you to think about and imagine, or just think about right now, who is your absolute favorite client you love to work with, or the favorite job that you worked on? And I just want you to take it right next to the I and identify. This is what we're working on right now.
You don't have to feel bad.
So identify your ideal client, your target market, the great, your favorite project or buyer. And I want you to just write, what are the words that come down, that come to your mind? What about that person? Is there a particular characteristic of that person? Is there something you know specific about that person, about their hobby or their values? Yes.
I just want to share, and I could be totally wrong with this, but it kind of makes me laugh. One time I thought about this, and I went, oh my God, the perfect client, kind of resembles me. If you think about it, resembles yourself.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy, but.
Yeah. Right, and if you think you've probably come across a client who's very similar to you, and so the next step in taking this client, because I'm sorry, I got to detach myself from that. I want to go somewhere, but I can't. But that is really good. So go back into identifying your ideal clients and picking out those specific words and that criteria or the problem. Does anybody need more time for that? Can you just take a moment just to write it down? Because I want to have you pop. Okay. Who wants to share? Yes.
I do business with a company called All Pro Productions.
Okay.
They're the ones who put on fire department and police department comedy shows around the state. And
Yeah.
We do packages for them where we do the tickets, we do the receipts, we do certificates that they hand out, saying thank you for supporting the Norfolk Fire Department.
They scored!
2-1. 2-1. 2-1. It is 2-1. We do an entire package for them. He basically faxes it into me. We do it in about 3 or 4 days for him. I do the whole thing in-house, so it's very profitable for me. It's very predictable. It's easy. It's good, consistent work.
What do you like about him? I mean, I get the fact that he's simple, but give me something else that
he fits exactly what I do.
Okay.
He fits my package as far as what's my most profitable piece of business. He also can give me on a good month, I'll be doing 2 or 3 of these things a week for him. And they're around $300 or $400 a piece, so it's good, consistent business. He also pays me in a week, which is unbelievable.
Okay, so let me stop you there. This is good stuff. So what I would say is, what would it be like if you had the majority of your business with those ideal clients, niched in like that?
Life would be wonderful.
So this is going back to my point, is that now, when, it doesn't happen overnight, but when you start targeting more specific, you know, we would work into more detail about what are the demographics or the psychographics of this type of client. And then from the becoming clear, there's different keywords that you are able to come up with. And we pull that all together as part of your strategy to help you to go through the bridge to identify and niche yourself with those clients. But before I do a close, because I know that we're looking at time, I want to make you a very special offer. And I want to, if you could, and I have some other goodies for you, if you could take out the last feedback form that's under the very last page on the right-hand side. And I'm sure everybody knows by now, I make my living by being a coach and coaching people to be accountable, balancing the working on and working off. Working on and working in the business and getting off of that revenue roller coaster. We talked about just a couple of tips today through the bridge process. There's some more advanced, and I have another little bonus that I'll give you as well that'll bring it all together. But this offer, if you are very, I'd like to give you all a complimentary consult. And what I mean by that is that if you're interested in having a consult, what it is a 45-minute telephone conversation where I'm going to learn a little bit more about you and your business, and we can decide together if it's a right fit and if this is something that you're serious on. So, but I want to be clear, what you're going to do, if this is something you're interested in doing or exploring, or you're interested in coaching, but this girl's a little too boisterous, I need somebody else, whatever, I can introduce you to another coach. But only if you're serious, because what I'm not offering here is I'm not offering a free coaching session. I'm only offering it to people who are serious, who want to consider that. So I would ask you to fill that out, just check off you want a free session, there's no obligation, and then pass that to me. And when you're filling out this last piece of it, I'd like to collect them, and I have 2 giveaways that I'm going to give away.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Our business has been going through some changes, trying to bring it from the dinosaur times to something that my son can deal with. And we've talked to website guys, we've talked to marketing people, we've talked to different groups. And I guess there's something wrong with me, because I guess I'm kind of like old school, where when you say your favorite client, I can tell you right away, it's Mrs. Stahl in Dover. She appreciates what we do, never questions get paid, we always give cookies and milk. It's that stupid thing, but that's important. I will never question what I charge her. Where I have people that I can lack of better, bend over backwards and and just charge them all outdoors, and then they feel good when they take 10% off it, which wasn't even there. So I mean, I guess when everybody pushes, what's your niche, what's your set? Do we have to get back to the basic businesses? I mean, it's like, you still see carpenters that build homes, that do it all.
Right.
They don't have a niche. You see people that,
Well, I think it depends on the profession, and I think one of the things that I didn't talk about is my whole motto is life is too short to deal with PITAs. So PITAs are pain in the ass clients, and I am in business for myself for the very reason that I get to pick and choose the clients, which is why I have a sample session. So in your case, it's knowing and getting clear on your qualifying process. I know when somebody calls me on the phone from the tone of their voice, if this is somebody that I can work with. I'm sorry, but I don't don't take this the wrong way because, but I don't deal with whiny, high-pitched women. I cannot work, I'm not the right person for that person. In fact, most, energetic,